This is beautiful.
Hello.
Hi.
Sup?
I'm having a very relaxing Monday evening.
Happy Memorial Day, everyone. For your Pizza Planet shirt.
Oh my God. Everyone needs to look at the shirt that Meg got me. Official Disney merch
Pizza Planet.
at Target.
Oh, that's better. At Target, yeah, Target has good Disney licensed shirts. Someone's excited. Hi, Tina. Hi, Christine. Kenneth. Karina, hello. Tina McNeil. She said, hello, Megan and Christopher. Very formal.
That is my birth name.
So earlier today we said that I would be Christopher as well. Actually, he would go by Christopher. You'd go by Chris, and I'd go by Topher. Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Hi, Sam. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having a good Memorial Day. It's a special day to honor the people that gave their all for us to have freedom, and I think that's important to acknowledge. And it's not just sales.
No.
And barbecues and pool openings,
or a day off.
Yeah. So I just wanted to acknowledge that very quickly as well. Hi, Kit. Welcome. But the last time you were on stream was back in February, right?
It was a while ago.
Chris came on for the first time on my stream. I am in blue. Yes, Christine. I forgot that I could change things because I am not watching or doing streams as frequently as I once did. I forget that I can do things. But one exciting thing that happened today was I hit 10,000 followers on TikTok, which was very exciting.
Proud of you. You worked hard for that.
And part of it's because of Chris, because Chris has been participating in some of my videos. As you guys might have seen, we put out a couple videos from our Disney trip that we went to in April last month. Just about a month ago, a little over a month ago, we went. And that's what we're actually going to be talking about today. It was Chris's first time back to Walt Disney World as an adult. And so back in February, we had done I look really tall right here. Because Chris is sitting down in a lower chair than I am. Look in I look very tall. We're talking about pins, and we had sort of hinted that we were going to be going on a Disney trip, and we're back here to talk about said Disney trip. Yes. I will share one dad joke, semi-dad joke, that I actually made while I was at Disney in line for one of the rides. And this is the only one I could think of off the top of my head. We'll have to come up with new ones for the next time. We were in line for Smuggler's Run, and they have the pilots and the gunners. Were you texting I was texting my sister. Yes, if anyone hasn't seen that, Patrick commented on it, and he was like, ha, 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 ha. And then Michael Latrusky had said, you don't have a sister. But we were in line for Smuggler's Run, and I ended up being one of the gunners. That was the first time I had ever gotten to be a gunner before. And I was so excited because it was the first time I was doing it. And the person in front of me was like, I've never been a pilot before. And I said, I've never been a gunner before, but I've been a Megan before. And then the guy behind me gave me a high five, and he said that was a good one. And I said, thanks.
The first time you told me that, I didn't get it. And then you explained it to me, and I was like, oh, I had a friend in high school named Gunner. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's what it was. To say to what Patrick had done earlier, or what he just said, there's a sound on TikTok, which we did a little video of, and Chris participated in the video. And I will only say, don't follow if you don't want to follow any, of the TikTok content, but go. I had put a link to it yesterday in my Instagram stories for my TikTok account, only because Chris there's a video of Chris that has 4.5 million views of him walking around the Star Wars section of Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios. And so that's kind of like part of our trip as well, if you want to have a little bit more backstory and intel on our trip. Have I seen the new show at Disney Springs yet? No, I have not. Oh, Patrick, you're the best. No, I have not seen the new Disney Springs drone show, but it's going to be there through the rest of the summer, I think. So we may or may not be trying to plan something else. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll keep everyone updated. Yeah, Tina, it's super cool. It happened very accidentally, but the internet's a weird place and weird things happen on the internet. So the comments have been entertaining to say the least on that video. People really liked Chris's shirt as well. September 2nd, that's when the show goes through. It's a drone show at Disney Springs. And I know, like, I had seen that Resort TV 1 was going to be streaming it tonight. Josh was going to see it for the first time. I saw that. And I know a lot of people have been busy making content about it. But typically for me, and maybe not for you as much, I like to see things with my own eyes to start off with. If there's a new show, I actually still haven't seen the whole Epcot fireworks show, the new Epcot fireworks show. So I'm hoping we can do that next.
We missed that last time.
We did miss that.
For good reason.
We can talk about that in just a few minutes. But to jump into sort of our topic for the evening, which is a recap of our trip. Once again, Chris had not been to Disney for 14 years. And it was his first time experiencing all the new things. So Star Wars area, like Galaxy's Edge, New Fantasyland, like almost all of Epcot, like pretty much everything was brand new to Chris. And so if anyone has been to Disney with someone for the first time, it's like one of my favorite things to see, only because it's like watching someone fall in love with the things that you're in love with.
Yeah.
And I think, like, even before we had left, he was like, "When are we coming back?" Which was really exciting for me because it was going to be a deal breaker.
That's fair.
No, I don't know. I don't have to worry about it.
You said that very early on.
Did I? Oh, I said, if you don't like Disney, you can't date me.
You had some screening questions.
I did. Oh my gosh. Yeah. When I first met Chris, I had to screen him. I asked him about social media. I asked him about Disney. I asked him about lots of different things that probably aren't super applicable to this stream at the moment. Hi, Amy. Welcome. You know what's funny, Amy? Chris and I, we're just like watching videos about things on the internet, as one does on YouTube. And we were watching, I have never personally been to Animal Kingdom Lodge. I would love to go there one day. And we were talking about maybe going. Can anyone tell me if it's a Jico or Jico, that restaurant? But we were looking at one of the Kanani Village like studio DVC rooms, and we came across Our Dreams video, and I said, well, we gotta watch that one because those are my friends. And Amy was in the video as well, and I said, oh my gosh, I know Amy, and now here she is. Jico, not Jico.
That's not how I was pronouncing it earlier.
No, I was like, is it Jico or Jico? Hi, Stacey, welcome. So hopefully we have some future plans. Hi, John, welcome. Also, I'm so excited about the Rangers. Woo. Woo. Chris is not. Woo.
I'm in the midst of being converted.
He's being converted to Disney and converted to a hockey fan. How could you not go to Animal Kingdom Lodge? That's such a good question, Tina. Thanks, Tina. So everyone, just how we're both named Chris, everyone in the chat is named Tina. Hi, Horizons, welcome. Hello, hello. Yes, so I have plans. We have plans. We were just talking about them today. Hopefully be able to go to Animal Kingdom Lodge just to visit. Because Pickle-a-Truski. Hi. I was just talking about you in for a TikTok comment. I thought it was hilarious. But we'll have a little spoiler in that Chris got to meet Jeff Yes, we ran into
Finally.
him. Chris, go sign in on another device and hit the like button. Yeah, go do it. So we started with our travel day was a little chaotic, just because I had worked a half day, and then we went to the airport. Our flight was at 5:30. Was it 5:30? It was in the evening, so I worked a half day.
Yes.
And it was hi Kay. It was a little stressful with our parking scenario. Hi, Two Real Geeks. Hello, hello. And anyway, we finally got into the airport. We got in pretty much on time.
Yes.
And who picked us up?
Russ.
Russ picked us up. So we started off the trip with someone in the community, a friend in the community, which was really awesome to sort of start our very magical trip.
Shout out to Russ. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Russ. If you guys don't know Russ Stapleton, Russ is an awesome person. We're very grateful that he picked us up and dropped us off. It's hot in Orlando. Oh no, I'm so sorry. It wasn't too bad here today, actually. It was very humid. It rained most of the day.
First sticky day of the season I think we've had.
How was Uber, Russ? I wish that we could give Russ a 5-star review because we didn't go through Uber, but I don't know if you want to hire Russ, we give 5 stars here on YouTube.
Yeah, quality.
5 stars.
Top-notch service.
Yes.
Too friendly conversations.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's our glowing review. So Russ actually dropped us right off before we had even left the airport, before we got on the airplane, our room was ready. And so we already knew where our room was going to be. Actually, if you'd like to see our very chaotic room tour, I just posted it yesterday. We stayed at All-Star Sports Resort, and Russ just dropped us right off. Yeah, it stinks that you can't request Uber drivers, but I will tell you too, Stacy, that we just did it sort of privately with Russ because then Uber doesn't take a cut of his pay. So like for anyone that's using the Uber or Lyft services or anything like through a third party, you're going to be paying the fees. And so, we have another person down here down in Orlando that could.
Nice.
Yeah, so we ended up just doing it like privately with him because we want Russ to get as much money as he can by doing the work that he does. Oh, thanks so much, Tina. Yeah, Chris had a snack during the room tour, and he got some new earrings at All Star Sports. They're still hanging in his ears today. But yeah, if you want to check that out, we just posted a video yesterday. I posted a video, but you were a part of it. And Russ dropped us off right there. And we did a room tour. We unpacked our stuff. And then, as I was talking about yesterday, I never really finished the room tour. Hey, welcome. I always get very distracted when there's other things going on. And so I was also trying to those earrings must have hurt. Yeah.
That's why I took them off quite quickly. And I don't have them in right now.
Yeah. But I had repurchased my annual pass, so I had to go in and activate it. We stayed at All Star Sports Resort, one of the value resorts over by Animal Kingdom in that area.
Which, for the record, for me was somewhat familiar because that was the resort my high school concert band stayed at in 2010 when I had worked last in the parks.
Yeah, but everything was so different. Like if you could give a really quick review right now, like 30-second review, what would you say about the resort or like the room experience?
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was set up effectively. It was organized, especially for 2 people being in the room that we had, which actually with the Murphy bed could have fit
4.
Fit
4.
Especially on a budget, like everything, all the amenities you could have wanted, space.
Yeah.
I enjoy just like how convenient the layout of that resort is, and just like the bustling energy.
So, yeah, of course, like nonstop, there's always cheerleading competitions, and there was one there. The Disney Nerd Herders are here. Hello. And Tim is going on the Disneyland monorail. We're very jealous. Also, hi, Karen. Welcome. Thank you guys for being here. It's so exciting to get to talk to friends here, too. I will say I have stayed at some of the value resorts since they've been updated, and it's, hey, Noah, welcome. Hi, Joy. Oh my gosh, we got to get you on with Justin. I really want Chris to meet Justin. I really like the renovated rooms. I think if you are someone, I don't spend a lot of time, and we really didn't spend very much time in the room, so it doesn't make sense for us to spend so much money on a hotel room. I think that's sort of the pull between, are you going to do a lot of park days and not spend time in the room, or are you going to spend more time in the resort? And I don't know, I think it kind of depends on what your intentions are on your trip. And we were going to the park for 3 days. We were gone Friday night, on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and we're flying home Tuesday night. We were in the parks Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But after we unpacked, I got very distracted. I was trying to activate my pass, and we were running late. I ended up having a reservation for Trattoria al Forno, or Trattoria al Forno, or however you say it. I'm still not sure. Even after the video, and if you want to see our dining review of dinner, that one came out a couple weeks ago. We also did hi Donna. Oh my gosh, I want you to meet Donna too. I want you to meet everyone. Oh, I'm staying at the Music in June for my birthday. That's so cool, Karen. I would love Chris to stay at the All-Star Music. For anyone that doesn't know, Chris is a musician. So music is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
But it happens to be that the All-Star Sports is always like the cheapest one for some reason, in any like date range that we're going or we're like looking into. It's always the cheapest. Yes, Donna, we will definitely make that happen. And there's a couple other people that I really want him to meet too. And we had the opportunity for Chris to meet several friends, and we'll get into that too. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Kenneth. Yeah, we really enjoyed Trattoria al Forno. Port Riverside is also a good place for music. We'll have to check that out. Maybe that's a hotel that we can just go to. But yeah, so we went and we ate dinner. We really enjoyed it, but it was we were tired, and it was really hot. It was like 95 degrees when we had landed, and
it was a late dinner.
It was a late dinner. Yeah, we ended up being a little bit late for our reservation, but they took us. They were very, very nice, and we were just like exhausted from traveling, and I had worked. And did Chris get to meet Mike Wheeler? No. For sure, Two Real Geeks. I would love to do that. We are hoping to come back sometime in the near future. Music and sports were the same price, so I chose music because I love music. That would make sense. I will say also the benefit, at least for me, the benefit of staying at All-Star Sports, if you are staying at one of the 3 value resorts over there, and hi, Jeanette. Jeanette has been so kind commenting on like all my videos. She went to my TikTok and commented on a bunch of videos, and she's been sending me messages on Instagram. So also congrats to all of the graduates that have been visiting the parks. But All-Star Sports is the first resort in the sequence of those 3 resorts. And so it cuts out, like, if you don't care as much about the theming, it cuts out probably like 2 or 3 minutes or 4 or 5 minutes of just bus time in the route to different parks. So if you really don't care about the theming that much, I would say if you care about the theming, All-Star Movies is my favorite one to stay at in those 3. But I've stayed at All-Star Movies, and I've stayed at All-Star Sports. I've walked around All-Star Music, but I haven't stayed there. Yes, exactly, Jeanette. Like the renovated rooms, being closest to the entrance of the value resorts is really helpful, and you always get picked up or dropped off first, really. So I like the convenience of that. So we ate at Trattoria al Forno, and our first day in the park was
Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom. Woo! Because where else are you going to go on the first day of your Disney trip?
Yeah, it needed to be then.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk for a little bit.
Also was probably
Hi, Julie.
dare I say the most chaotic of the park days.
Oh, it's always the busiest. Yeah, it's always the busiest.
Just kind of playing
Hi, Simba,
back.
too.
I'm just playing back in my mind, like how many rides and attractions we did do. Downtime we had for the parade. The lunch we had at Jungle Skipper
Canteen.
We did. I think that was the one park day we ended up taking a break.
We went back to the hotel.
Yes.
Yeah.
To clean and rest up for about 2 hours. I had dinner.
Yeah, I think we were back there. Hi, Happy's Hot. Hello, Nicole. So I think a lot of people know, at least in this community, I have a hard time sometimes navigating the Disney parks, and I think a lot of people that have, health issues or disabilities have a hard time navigating the Disney parks. And I won't even get into the new DAS system, just because that's a whole separate thing. But yeah, I think I was so overwhelmed after the first 2 or 3 hours of being in the park that I think it was more you had made the executive decision for both of us. You're like, we need to just sit. And we sat, there's several quiet areas if you have any sort of a cognitive disability or you need a quiet space. That's they have sections on the Disney website that have quiet spots that you go to, and one that has been always helpful for me in the parks has been going near the Carousel Progress. The Carousel Progress over by the bathrooms of near Space Mountain, kind of in between that area. There's benches, it's quiet. There's not a lot of traffic over there, and so honestly, that new DAS system is not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll have to see. I'm not really sure. Debbie, hello, welcome. Yes, for me personally, I've heard a lot of people have been denied. Even people that have met criteria have been denied. But once again, I won't get into that right now. Maybe that's a conversation for another day. And that I think that it's messy. That whole situation is very messy. But yeah, Chris had just sort of said we need to chill.
Yes.
Because I was fading really fast.
We also moved very quickly in that first 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, we had done a lot of stuff just because the park wasn't very crowded.
Correct.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also just know Tron knocked me out way harder.
Yeah, we ended up getting the Tron virtual queue. And I think after that, we were just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And if anyone has any questions about the rides that Chris liked, you guys can ask too, because a lot of these he was experiencing kind of for the first time. So after that, we had decided, we had to waited for our lunch reservation, which was at Jungle Skipper Canteen. And I have to have some content from that. I have to figure out how I want to do it, edit it. But how would you rate Jungle Skipper Canteen?
I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was phenomenal, the top greatest thing I ever had in my life. But I thought it was a solid sit down lunch. Where I had I forget whatever dish it was. It was that fried chicken dish. It was kind of like the equivalent.
Oh, tastes like chicken.
Yes, it was the equivalent
because it is.
Yes, and it was the equivalent of a better quality orange chicken at a Chinese takeout restaurant with white rice and sautéed vegetables and a orange sesame ginger glaze.
I will say, Magic Kingdom is notorious for having really poor food, especially sit down. They're not known for food, which makes sense because most people don't go to Magic Kingdom just for the food. They go for the castle and for the rides and the attractions. And so I thought that was, I felt, and you can maybe disagree if you want, in that the options for sit down lunch, we were trying to do Disney on a budget, more budget friendly Disney. So we were trying to have our biggest meal and sort of in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And we were trying to do more budget friendly options. And so I think for the options presented, outside of like, the quick service of like, if you wanted to get Casey's or something, like, I don't want to be eating theme park food all day, every day. And so I think just being cognizant of what we were putting into our bodies as well was important for us. And so I think in terms of healthier foods and then also budget friendly foods, Trumbull Skipper Canteen was a better choice for us than any other things. I see Tina said she likes Liberty Tree Tavern, and I will say they do have some options that are plant-based. I just think it's like Impossible Meatloaf. And if I'm going to the theme park, it's like 90 degrees out. And I think it was 94 degrees the day we went to Magic Kingdom. I was like, I don't really want to sit down and have meatloaf. I wanted something lighter. I had a vegetable curry, like coconut curry, which was lighter in that I didn't feel super weighed down after. Chris had gotten a salad, and then also I know healthy and economical are not in the same universe. I will say though, I think the breakfast at Trattoria Al Forno was probably our favorite meal. Is that right? For the whole trip.
Yeah.
And I felt good after that meal. Like I'm also very sensitive to food. And I have some dietary restrictions. And
I will eat anything.
Chris eats everything, which is why he's doing the food reviews too. But I had some really, and we have a review of this breakfast as well, if you guys want to check it out. We really, really enjoyed that. And I felt like it was a pretty decently healthy meal. Jeanette saying kids' meals work. For healthier and healthier options. And they're definitely cheaper. They come with like a drink and 2 sides. Hi, Dean. Welcome. You don't want to sweat over a heavy and impossible meatloaf? That sounds delicious. It sounds delicious. So after we had finished our lunch, I just said, let's go get some Dole Whip. And we hung out for like an hour and 15 minutes or so on that rock wall.
Yes.
In Frontierland, because I personally I like the debate over how to pronounce Trattoria. It was great, but like, how do you say it? Is it Trattoria or Trattoria? And even if you type it into the chat, I don't know if I'll be able to tell the difference.
It's Trattoria. I think Trattoria just rolls off the tongue here.
Trattoria sounds better, but then I was watching a video and someone's like, no, it's Trattoria. So I was like, I'm not Italian. You are, though. So
you send me that video.
I have to find it. But we had hung out probably for like an hour and 15 minutes on that rock wall in Frontierland. I personally I think Chris is correct. Of course, he's always right. I like watching the parade from Frontierland. I like the options of watching the parade in Frontierland. And so we just like hung out there. Trattoria. My brain went to bad places with that last syllable.
I was thinking that exact same thing in the last moment.
I'm glad that you had the same thought. Maybe the chat had the same. Trattoria is how I've been told. I told you. I was right. Okay. But we watched the parade. We hung out for a little bit. And then after the parade, we went back for like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah, because by that point, I think we cleaned up. We took a nap.
Yeah, I think you showered.
I got dinner at the resort, which I wasn't anticipating, but
you said you really liked it. Actually,
underrated. I had at All Star Sports Food Court. I had the
salmon,
the herb crusted salmon,
and mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes, and the sautéed string beans, and it was one of the pricier entree meals at like $16 and change. But as I was eating it, I realized I was like, oh my God, if I got this in any of the parks, it would have been at least double.
$30-something. Yeah. Hi, Pam. Welcome. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen Pam in such a long time. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so we had a lot of stuff going on, but we wanted to go back to, we had
definitely mustard profile on salmon. because they use like Dijon mustard on it too.
Oh, I was like, where did that come from? We had a lightning lane for Jungle Cruise that I kept pushing back and kept pushing back and kept pushing back because, like I wasn't feeling super great to like go on any ride. So we kept pushing it back and pushing it back. So we had one for like 8:00 and we rode Jungle Cruise and then we made a lightning lane for Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin. And then at the very end of my first ride through, Chris like jolted it just a little bit and I was one shot away from getting Galactic Hero.
I was getting jealous. I was like,
Chris was like, she's doing so much better than me. Hi, Isaac. Welcome. Isaac plays the drums.
Oh, nice.
So I said to Chris, like it was 10 minutes before the fireworks had started. And I said, we're going back on because I want Galactic Hero. I try to get it. Yeah, I try to get it once a trip. It was the only day we were going to Magic Kingdom. And we walked literally out right back into line. There was no one else in line with us. Actually, some woman and her son were walking backwards because they're like, where do we go? And I said, no, because there was literally no one else in line. And so we walked right back on. I got Galactic Hero. And then we watched, someone had given us a recommendation to watch the fireworks over by Tron. But for me, it was too loud over there. So I don't know if. Hi, Chris. Chris, I just got your text. Nice. I probably wouldn't recommend watching it over by Tron, but if you don't mind the noise, I suppose. I don't know what the view is like. I just know that I couldn't do the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up kind of walking over by. We were a little bit to the left of the Joffrey's stand in Tomorrowland, and there was like 4 other people around us.
Yeah.
It was nearly empty in the area that we were, and I just was like dancing around and singing. That was Chris's first time watching Happily Ever After. What did you think about Happily Ever After?
Oh, I loved it.
We loved it so much that we put it on the TV at the resort as we were packing up.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't want to go.
we were definitely wishing we had one more day, even if it was like a cool day.
Yeah. You don't ever want to leave the bubble. It's hard to leave the bubble. We watched the fireworks, and then I can't remember what we did after that. I think we did one other thing after.
Yes.
I can't remember because we didn't leave immediately after because I said for me also, like I can't be around all the people trying to leave the fireworks at the same time. James said, so when's your next trip? This is like literally the same thing that had happened the last time where we didn't have anything officially booked, but we have days in mind and we've been talking about it to try and get her done.
It'll probably be official later this week.
Yeah, later this week, hopefully. Fingers crossed. That's why we made that TikTok today. It's like, what are you doing? Texting? Texting who? My sister.
I thought it was funny. We were earlier today. We were at my brother's house, and he was having a little bit of a belated birthday party with several of his friends, and they're much younger than Meg and I, and much more.
We're not even that old, please. They are a little bit younger.
Yes, they're much more savvy with TikTok and other newer forms of social media, and I was like, hey, everyone, Meg made a TikTok that I was in. And I don't think any of them got it because none of them are really Disney fans.
No, they're not.
And they just didn't understand the screenshot of you looking at results.
Yeah, they were just like, what is that? I thought it was hilarious. And clearly Patrick thought it was funny too because he laughed at it and commented on it. Yes, Kenneth, we're trying to have one trip booked. And then I have a milestone birthday this year. So I'm trying to maybe go back around my birthday time. Oh, is that the comic relief? Yes, because you were like, you don't have a sister. I said no. I'm usually the planner, but with my nephew, we just made a last minute. Yes. Wow. Okay, so that's kind of what we were a little bit doing. Not that it's like a last minute trip or anything, but it wouldn't. I'm gonna be 21. I know, how exciting, right? Yeah, actually, I'm gonna be 18.
Oh boy.
Chris is only 17, and we have friends that are much younger. No, we're just a little bit older than that. 3 trips until yes. So I can't remember exactly what we did after our Magic Kingdom day, but at the very end of our Magic Kingdom day.
Yeah, because I feel like we did one more.
I think we did probably one more ride. We probably did the People Mover.
Yeah. We're definitely going for the more like gentle.
We needed gentle rides. Yeah, we needed gentle rides. But our second day, we started a little bit later because I wake up pretty early to start off with. But then when you have that Disney excitement, you're just like, I think. Oh, also, I was trying to get the Tron virtual queue that first morning, and so I was up at like 5:30, and I was like, "When's it gonna be 7?"
Yeah, and I think we were like in app. Right?
Yeah, we were just really tired. And then the second day we were going to Hollywood Studios, so I said, "No virtual queue that day."
Yeah.
So I don't have to be up. Yes, we did Haunted Mansion. We did the Haunted Mansion. What did you think about the Haunted Mansion?
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite attraction.
Yeah.
But our second day, we went to Hollywood Studios, and we started a little bit later. What was your favorite part of Hollywood Studios?
It's got to be Galaxy's Edge. How could it not be?
Yeah, we did Rise of the Resistance and Smuggler's Run.
Smuggler's Run disoriented me.
I think that Chris was a pilot.
Yeah.
And after being a pilot and then being the gunner, and at some point I was an engineer, because if you do single riders, you're basically going in to be an engineer. So maybe we do that one time where we just go into a single rider line. But the last time I went, I was a gunner, and I said, "Oh my gosh, what a different experience it is to be a gunner!" Like I actually preferred it more I like get motion sick. So I think Chris wasn't feeling super great after. We also, I have these motion sickness, like pressure point, like acupuncture type bands that I wear, and I was wearing them around the park. And I think next time when we go, you'll bring earplugs too. Like I was just walking around with my earplugs in, and it was helpful to have them just because there's so much going on in the park. But if you are also prone to motion sickness, those were really helpful to be able to just like have them on our wrists.
And the liquid IV powder packets really helped.
Yes, single rider is a way to go if you can. So much of a time saver. I agree. Oh, my niece is celebrating that same milestone birthday this year in December. Oh, I'm so sorry. Originally I really wanted to go to Disneyland, but and if anyone has talked to me in the last several years, they know that for this particular birthday, I wanted to go to Disneyland. I've been talking about it for a long time, but because I renewed my annual pass, it just like doesn't make sense to go to Disneyland. So we'll have to go another time. Yeah, in the fall, so we could see Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Yes.
Yay. We did single rider 3 times, and twice we got to be pilots. Oh, yeah. So I guess you never know what the families want to do. But what did you think about Rise of the Resistance?
It was fear-worthy for me.
People on the internet were like, "Why is he crying?" But you weren't. That was the funny part.
No, it was. I think on some of the other streams we've been a part over the last few months is I've definitely been very vocal in announcing, I'm an OG trilogy fan. That's what I grew up with watching.
And not the new ones. You haven't even seen the new movies.
No, I haven't.
That's okay.
And that's hard for me to drift away.
Chris.
That's hard for me to drift away the original trilogy, and even the 3 prequels too, because that's the stuff I grew up when I was like in elementary and middle school.
Yeah.
Those were VHS tapes that I had.
I still have those VHS tapes. Jeanette, we did Chewy mode one time, and it was really cool. Where's it, Chris? I'm gonna be 65. That's amazing. Dad Bills is actually he's gonna be 21 this year.
Nice.
Also, can I say on Saturday we might be joining Chris. We're not gonna say why, but we might be joining for something fun. So go watch Chris's stream on Saturday because it's gonna be good. Whatever it is, we're gonna be there.
Oh, we will be there.
We will be there. We will be
It's on my calendar.
Yeah, we're gonna be there. But if you really want Chris's genuine first impression, it's on the TikTok, which is why so this is someone watching someone experience a world that I love, not only just in Star Wars, because very ironically, like, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, I think I like Star Wars more than you like Star Wars. Yes. Or in a different capacity, I like Star Wars.
No, I'll agree with you on that. Just because, well, realistically, as I got older, I kind of fell out of it a little bit, especially since it was so driven by that original trilogy. And I know, oh my god, like 20 years ago, there was like that original trilogy resurgence. Like Revenge of the Sith was coming out.
Yeah.
I had all those action figures growing up, Legos.
I remember when we first started, like after you had met me, you're like, do you want any of these? And I was like, I don't collect action figures.
I offered. I was cleaning out my closet.
Trying to sneak in.
And I offered to give Megan this late 90s, I think it was Kenner.
But you still have that.
I still have it. It was this Kenner rotating Princess Leia from New Hope with the blaster. And I was like,
He's like, I'd really like to date you. Do you want my toy? Hi, Timothy Rainwaters. And I was like, nah, man, it's okay.
Like, I'm not into action figures. And I was like,
yeah. No, I wasn't. I never collected action figures. But I will say, like, and Jeanette said, going on attractions with first timers is one of my favorite things to do. Just getting to watch Chris walk around the Disney parks, especially in this universe that he knows very well. Even though he hasn't seen, hi Connie, happy Memorial Day. Thanks for being here. But even though you haven't seen the new trilogy or some of the associations with the new trilogy, like Kylo Ren and Rey, like some of the characters. But like watching Chris experience this world was so special.
It really was the Millennium Falcon that did it for me. And then on Rise of the Resistance being in the hangar with this might make the check a little bit. With the AT-AT or the AT-AT.
What is it? What is it? Is it Trattoria Al Forno? Is it Jico or Gico, or is it AT-AT or AT-AT?
I always called it the AT-AT because I was like, oh, they're capital letters.
And then everyone's like, no, it's AT-AT. But I have always called it an AT-AT.
Yeah, that was wasn't until the last 10 years I saw Kevin Smith of Clerks fame. He called it an AT-AT in an interview, and I was like, oh, that makes more sense. It rolls off the tongue way easier.
I like how they're saying it's still AT-AT, but it's still AT-AT. We're still right. You could call it AT-AT. So there's no differentiating in the chat as well. We ate at Sci-Fi that day. Also have like a mini review that I still have to do for that. And we did one of my favorite things to do in Hollywood Studios is Fantasmic. Almost AT&T. Tomato. Land. Also one of my favorite things to do at Hollywood Studios. But I will almost always opt to do the Fantasmic dining package. I don't remember the last time that I have eaten at Hollywood Studios and have not done the Fantasmic dining package. To me, hi, Debbie. Thanks for being here. Oh, have you met Debbie before? Hi, Debbie. Hi.
No, I do not think I have.
This is my friend, Christopher.
This is my friend, Megan.
Sorry. For anyone that is new, this is my friend, Chris. He's here. He went on a Disney trip with me.
I've been telling Megan with all this, especially this TikTok notoriety I've gotten over the last 2 weeks. That
he's like, I'm Mickey's Magic now.
I think I'm going to start my own channel, call it Minnie's Magic.
Yeah, so I'll be Mickey and he'll be Minnie. It's just silly. We're very silly sometimes. Yes, nice to meet you, Chris. But I always opt to do the Fantasmic dining package. It's one of my favorite things to do. Fantasmic is probably my favorite nighttime show, with Happily Ever After being very close. Happily Ever After is my favorite fireworks show. But there's something very special about Fantasmic in my heart. I love Sorcerer Mickey. And I was trying to stand my Disney bound as Sorcerer Mickey that day. The video of that is very funny. It's very funny, and we laughed at it because I was so happy to meet Sorcerer Mickey. But I think sci-fi is always, it's decent.
Are we getting into that?
Do you want to?
The food was better than I expected. It was fun.
Yeah, we were just atmosphere.
I don't know if it had to just do with the service of how busy they were that day, but we were
so late. Our reservation was like, we got sat and got our orders taken like 45 minutes after our original reservation time.
And we were seated there for nearly 2 hours for the course of our entire
meal. And we were lucky that like we didn't have anything else really planned for the rest of the day, because we didn't get Genie Plus that day. And so we didn't have any like specific timelines that we were following, but it was just like the service was so slow. And I would say that I'm not super critical a lot of times of service, because like I know you could be Magic Mickeys. Just because I know like everyone at the Disney parks, I feel like, works so hard, and I know that it's probably really stressful. Yes, atmosphere is a 10. Food is just meh. Food is okay, but I will also throw in the caveat, it's the cheapest option for the Fantasmic dining package. And we had originally booked Mama Melrose because that's one of my favorite places to eat. And I know Mama Melrose gets a really bad rap as well. But only a couple days before we went, they changed the menu, and they took away any good plant-based options for me that like would suffice to pay the amount of money that we were going to pay to go see the package deal. I just said we should change it. I don't want to pay that much money to go eat soup on a hot day. And it just didn't make sense financially for me. But if you feel like you could get your money's worth, like go do Mama Melrose. But we had changed it sort of last minute. I know that the next time we're planning on doing a different one to do the package. But yeah, I mean, because we weren't in a rush, it wasn't as big of a deal, but I could understand, like, so Jeanette, they had a same thing, Donna. I've always had really amazing cast members, like servers that worked there. They've always been so friendly. The food has been really great. The portions have been really great. So with the package, you either get an appetizer or a dessert, and then you get an entree. And they changed the menu from having a plant-based flatbread to a $10 minestrone soup. And the minestrone soup was like, isn't my jam. And I think the pasta dish that I would normally get changed as well. Yes, Donna, the atmosphere is exceptional. We had, and the person that was like driving us in, he was super nice. He offered to take our picture. He was very chatty. And I will say, like, we also changed our reservation too, as you know, I was a little hesitant about the heat, and I was hesitant about like the sensory experience. And so I always know that sci-fi is always cold. Soup, I know. That's the only appetizer that's plant-based option. And they moved that flatbread to an entree, which is ridiculous to me, at Mama Melrose. But sci-fi is always dark. It's always cold in there, and it's fairly quiet. And so I said that will probably be a better experience, no matter what the food's going to necessarily be like. Yeah, Debbie, I really like Mama Melrose in general, but I wouldn't do it for the package. I would do it just like, I think the flatbread now is like $20 as an entree, and I would just do that instead of paying $56 to get a $10 bowl of soup and a $20 entree. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So it wasn't worth my money, in that we changed over to sci-fi. And I can't remember specifically what we did after that. Did we meet up with Tim that day? I think we met up with Tim that day. Yeah, because Oga's. We went to Oga's.
Yes.
Yeah. And what did you think of Oga's?
Oh, Oga's was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got 2 different drinks. I can't remember which ones they were.
Blurred Fire, which was pomegranate lemonade with the glass was rimmed with black sea salt and dried jalapeno powder.
Mhm.
And then the second drink was Cliff Dweller. It was like
Oh, yes, I've had that one before.
Mixed citrus fruit juices and ginger ale.
Yeah, I've had that one before, and I also have the Hi, Cody, thanks for being here. Yes, a big thank you to all the veterans that served and served. I agree. We had talked very briefly about that earlier in the stream and how important it is to recognize that, not just a day off or parades or barbecues and opening pools and picnics, things like that. But
I heard it too. I don't know who else did. But.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard it though. Yeah, so we went to Oga's and we ended up Tim had left us as well because we were going to Phantasm. We ended up sitting, we spent a lot of time just sort of like hanging. We just were like hanging out. So we ended up going to Phantasmic like at least an hour early, if not a little bit over an hour early.
Kind of glad we did though.
Yeah.
We had a really good spot.
Yeah, and if anyone, I feel bad asking when I do it, but if you have the dining package, they always usher you to one section first. And I said, this is Chris's first time seeing the show. Is there any way we could sit a little closer? And she's like, can you go into that section? And I said, can I sit down there with those people? And she was like, whatever, just move all the way to the left. And I said, okay. And the people next to us were very nice. But I wanted to be a little bit closer, and I know everyone has their preferred spots for Phantasmic, but they have those small benches in the front that only fit like 4 people maybe, and then we were in that first row after that. So if you want to kind of get misted during Phantasmic, you get a little wet there in those first couple rows, but I love being in those first couple rows because you really have such a unique experience. And so we had gotten there a little over an hour early and we were just kind of hanging out and it was nice to sit down. And it's funny too because I had prepped Chris. I remember what else we did there. I had prepped Chris to watch several different movies because you
did my homework.
Yeah, he did his homework going into the park days where he watched Frozen. He watched Beauty and the Beast. What other movies did you prep for that day? Just those 2?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and you rode Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway too.
Yes.
But we did the Frozen show because I said I need him to go and see that. If you're paying for a subprime dinner to get a good seat for Phantasmic, you want a good seat. I want a good seat there, and it never hurts to ask, right? Like if I am like, hey, would you mind? There's no one else over there. I'll move over all the way over. Like, can I sit up there? And they're like, whatever. I think they just don't want everyone to ask that, which I can understand. But we unfortunately didn't have a chance to see the Beauty and the Beast show, and so the next time we go, I really want Chris to see that show. And I know that Chris Dadfield is going live in just a couple minutes, so we'll try and hurry things up a little bit. On our third day in the parks, our last day in the parks, we went to yes, I remember that so vividly, Karen. That was such a fun day. Was that back in, oh my gosh, I remember you gave me the Hades Funko Pop. There were a couple other things that you guys had given me with Kate. Kate was there too. And my mom was there. My mom was always there. But on our third day, we went to Epcot and Chris was so interested in, what were you interested in?
at Epcot.
Yeah. Just give a word. One word.
Food.
Food. That's what he was interested in. And so we ended up, we did Living with the Land. Oh, the funniest part about that morning, though, I was up the race weekend 2023. That's what I thought it was. Which is after I met you.
Yeah.
I was texting Chris that weekend.
I made her a run playlist.
He made me a run playlist and he made me this video. And he played Creedence Clearwater Revival song. And he was like, good luck with your races. I still have it in my phone.
I'd like to see that because I don't think I have it. I was kind of like,
this girl doesn't like me.
This isn't going to.
Yeah, it was cute though. I was like, oh, and then I remember you texted me that week, and anyway, yeah, Chris was really interested in the food, but before even that, I got up for 7:00 because Chris also really wanted to ride Guardians of the Galaxy, and I got up, I pressed buttons, and I was like, Chris, we got it. We're group number 22, and then maybe like 10 minutes later, I got a message from Tim saying, do you realize that you made a reservation for you got a virtual queue for Tron? And I was like, no. And so I quickly went back on. I bought the lightning lane for it just because I was like, I have no idea if we're going to be able to get the pass for later. I also didn't know where we were going to be at 1:00 when, hopefully we're going to be in the park. But we got it for earlier in the day, which was nice. And Chris loved the ride. We had gotten I Ran So Far Away.
Yeah.
And I had never gotten that song before. And you were just like so jazzed about that the whole day.
Yes.
We rode Living with the Land, which also was very nice.
That's how our morning started.
Yeah, we started the morning with Living with the Land, and then we went on Guardians of the Galaxy, and then we just I took you to Club Pool. Yes. There's also a video on my TikTok of Chris trying Beverly. And I just love your reactions. You have the best reactions. But you didn't try the China one.
No, I wouldn't go there.
But you have to try it next time.
No.
We'll do it on stream and you guys can see it. He'll be coerced to it. I'll even have a sip with you and then we'll get a chaser. Yeah, so for pretty much the rest of the day, we went and we did the Garden Graze, which is the plant-based options at the Flower and Garden Festival, which unfortunately ends today. Hey, Manny, welcome. Yeah, today was the last day of the festival. No, don't do it.
I don't want to.
The China one is like carbonated barbecue sauce.
What everyone says.
No. Yes, but I want him. Yes, the Beverly Challenge. Would Chris compete if they did the Beverly Challenge again? I probably wouldn't let you. I probably wouldn't.
Challenge.
Guys, don't tell him this.
I'm curious. I didn't like it.
They were raising money for Give Kids the World, for the Make-A-Wish kids, or
nice.
The foundation that helps the families go to the theme parks. And Chris, don't be a baby. And their competition was because everyone hated that drink so much. How many can you have? Did Steve get like 44? Also on that first night, we forgot to mention, who did we meet on that first night when we went to Trattoria Al Forno? We met Carlos and Suzanne. We met Ryga McDowell and Lala. And we met Steve there. Tim was there. And who else was there? I'm trying to remember who else was there. I can't remember now. Yeah, everyone got sick after the Beverly Challenge. We had a big group. Carlos had taken a picture, so we'll have to go back and check because I feel like I'm forgetting. I think Mike was there. I can't remember. There were a couple other people that were there, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I know, Jeanette, I'm so bummed that we only missed you by a couple hours. We'll be back. We will be back. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be back. But yeah, it was so fun to get to run into everyone. And on Saturday we ran into Jeff at Magic Kingdom, and
by chance,
yeah. And Jeff was Jeff, my buddy.
He didn't threaten to shave my sideburns off like he did in the stream.
No, he was like, I'm gonna shave your whole face. But yeah, we spent most of the day at Epcot, like just kind of walking around, reviewing food, and we ate a lot of the plant-based items, which was a lot of fun. At least, like, I've never had anyone want to do that with me, so it was fun to do with you. And I think Karen had said she really liked Debbie said, I can't tell you how good to see, how it is to see you on stream. I miss your fun streams, your amazing stories. Yes, Debbie, we will definitely meet one day. And I hope to continue to see more people now that I have my annual pass back, because I didn't have it for a little bit of time. Jeffrey being Jeffrey, exactly. Yeah, that's how he is. But at 1 o'clock, I was able to snag a virtual queue for the Guardians of the Galaxy. The ride went down at some point during the day.
We were in line.
We were in line when it went down, and so we were just like waiting and waiting and waiting. That's why we missed the fireworks, because we hopped into line like 10 minutes before the park closed, because the ride finally went back up. I forgot to mention too, we went and saw Plain White Tees that night.
Yeah.
We saw one of their sets. It was fun. We spent most of the day eating. Yeah. Which at the festival is not something I typically do. Yes, Jersey Mike was there. And Rhonda. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Mike was there. Rhonda was there. Yeah, now I remember. Yeah, there was a couple other people too, I think, and I just can't remember off the top of my head. Yes, I remember that at the M80s for Jeff's birthday. I remember that, and we saw a band performance play.
That was fun. Their first performance of the day.
Their first performance. I think when we go back, we're going to catch more of them, more of the sets, because Chris, you like to play that kind of music too, and they're so professional.
Yeah, the work I do as a professional musician is very similar to that whole sort of like classic rock,
like British
cover band thing, and I thought those guys were top notch.
They're so good.
And to think they do five 45-minute sets,
half-hour sets.
Half-hour sets. Was it 6?
It's at like 4, like 5:15, like 6:30, 7, and 8, I think. So 5.
Okay, with 45-minute breaks. It's
30-minute sets.
I just commend them on that work ethic, and that they don't do any repeats throughout the day.
No, and even Chris was like, "Oh my gosh, all these people must be in such good shape to be able to play so many sets." Yeah. I know, Donna. Because we rode Guardians, so like the park was already closed after we had gotten out, and we were already at Donna was all the way in America, and we were like at Spaceship Earth essentially, and it would have been very messy to try and get all the way back. And at that point, we were just exhausted. Like after like a couple of days of just. I will say that we had started our Epcot day. I don't think we got there until 10:30-ish. We'd started a little bit later in the day. And then on Tuesday, our second travel day, we had a later flight. But what we did, we had a semi-brunch reservation almost.
Yeah.
At Trattoria Al Forno. And that was, I think, our favorite meal, like I said, of the whole trip. And then we sort of like wandered around the boardwalk. We ended up on.
It was so quiet.
Yeah, it was so quiet. Oh my gosh. We went on the friendship boat. We walked to Hollywood Studios. We did the Skyliner. We went to Caribbean Beach. We just like were exploring. We laid on one of the hammocks at Caribbean Beach. We ended up going to Epcot. Then we took the friendship boat back, and we were just sort of like having a nice relaxing day, walking around that area, because I really enjoy going around boardwalk. That's probably one of my dream resorts to stay at. That and like any of the monorail ones, really. I would love to stay at Bay Lake Tower. That's always been one of my dream resorts too. But literally any of the deluxe resorts, I'd be like, wow, let me add them. We'll see. Maybe for November I could sneak in one night. Yeah, I'll do one night a boardwalk villa. Yeah, and then we flew home, and yeah. What did you think about your first adult trip to Disney? For the people that, we're all Disney people here.
I'm in. The
Yay!
yeah.
Guys, we convinced him.
I'm in. Yeah, it's I had the time of my life.
Yay.
And several weeks later I still think about it. And what was it? It was later that day. I was like, Meg,
when are we coming back?
When are we coming back?
As we were packing up, he was like, when are we coming back though? And I don't know, one of the coolest moments for me was when we walked into our hotel room, and like obviously we don't have the same last name, but it had said our last names on there. And I was like, and we took pictures with it, and it was just so much fun to get to do that. It was very special. Our new convert to our cult. Yes, for anyone watching, we're actually not. I think the company helps, as like Tina said.
Yeah.
I said to Chris, he kept joking with me. He's like, well, I'm going to come back. And I was like, who's going to go with you? And he goes, I'll just go by myself. And I said, how are you going to get around the park? And he goes, I'll find out how to do it. I was like, well, you could just invite me. And he goes, I'll just go around the park by myself. And for me, like, I have been to the park so many times, and I'm very blessed and privileged and lucky to have gotten to go so many times. Like, I can walk around those parks with my eyes closed.
Yes, she can.
I know where the shortcuts are. I know where all the rides are. I know where most things are. The only place I actually don't know very much about is Disney Springs, and I'm hoping in our next trip we're going to have a little bit of extra time outside of the park days to be able to explore more. And this trip was really cool for me in that I did so many things that I haven't done, and I have never done with my mom, who I typically travel with going to the Disney parks. And it was just like such a different vibe. And I had so much fun. We used PhotoPass, we took pictures. Yeah, and if I mean, you guys are probably the same way in the chat. I love to document things. That's like something that is interesting to me. I remember things, and I like to take pictures and videos, and that's how I remember a lot of my moments.
Yes, and that was, I know, it was a special point during the trip.
So please stop taking pictures of me.
Because I am not. I'm very in the moment.
Yeah.
But then I think probably even 24 hours later, 36 hours later, I was like,
I'm so happy you have those.
Like, can I look at those pictures? Can you send those videos to me?
Yeah,
can you send those pictures to me?
And then
I'm glad that we're rolling.
Thanks. Well, I will also say too, in that, like, some of the videos and the pictures that I take are, they're just for me. They're just for me. And so I'll make little videos, like the same thing when we went to Arizona. Like, I like doing little video recaps. They're fun for me. And we went to Burlington, and I did it with, we traveled together. I enjoy doing them. They're for my memories too. And I actually put together a video of you from the Star Wars thing just for myself, because I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this person experiencing it for the first time. And it just popped up on the internet because people like watching that stuff, I guess. But it was really like I made it with the sound because I wanted to show you. And yeah, it was such a different experience getting to do it with you. And yeah, like I said, we're just liked it so much that we're trying to figure out how to get back.
We're going back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might involve some Halloween festivities.
Yes, I know you love
Halloween. Yes, I'm very excited for Mickey. I didn't get to go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party last year, but I had been from 2013, I think I started going, or 2014 I went, 2015 I went, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and then they skipped 2020. I went back for 2021, 2022, and I missed 2023. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to snag those dates. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about our trip before we head off and we send everyone over to Chris? Not you.
Recap. Yeah, definitely had to re-jog the memory from several weeks ago. Just hour by hour playing it by in my head.
Yeah, I know. Some of the things I can't remember, but I also wasn't looking at my phone at all.
Yeah.
And normally if I just look at my pictures like that. Yeah. So overall, the food was okay I always say like the food is okay for, being a part of the Disney parks. But I do think that Trattoria al Forno was definitely a hit for us. We really enjoyed it and just like at the boardwalk and we're gonna try and take advantage of some more park days and some Disney Springs time, and we'll go to Chico, maybe. So if you guys have any recommendations for us, let us know because Chris is still a Disney newbie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to say before we head off? Until the next stream, which I don't know when it will be, but I will
on a Monday.
It'll be on a Monday. Yeah. I think I had alluded to this the last time as well. I'm trying really hard to get back into making some content because I missed it. And Chris has been nice to help me out with some of it.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So hopefully either a video or a live stream. I enjoy doing live streams too because I like getting to talk to everyone. I miss everyone. And so maybe the next time we'll come with some jokes.
Okay.
We'll do some jokes. Okay. Well, until the next time, guys, we'll try and give you lots of advance notice of when we're doing our next stream. But until then, we'll see you real soon. Bye, guys. Thanks for being here. It means a lot. Happy Memorial Day. We'll catch you guys soon. Bye.